All right, everybody, we are back again. Thank you for sticking with us. Tukey here, of course, joined by Mr. Sin for the win as we continue on again with our coverage here tonight of the ECL Elite Division. It is our Week 6 coverage this week, our final week of the regular season. Of course, we just got done watching two games between Falun and ZSC Esports. Falun wrapping up their regular season today, and now we move to our second matchup, the Falun Coal Miners taking on Stargazing. And as we set the stage for you here, let's get a look at the latest results, easy for me to say, around the league. Again, not only do we have the games on broadcast, but a few off, including Sin. An interesting little result there between HV71 and Sawo Esports, a 3-0 victory earlier on today for HV71 over the presumed 3 seed in the Elite Division.
Yeah, I think at this point it is definitely pretty much confirmed that they can't pass up Ferlunda with the result of the first game alone, with Ferlunda taking the victory and HV71 in the maybe surprising fashion, shutting out Sawo Esports there. So great result if you're HV71 and able to beat a team like that.
Absolutely. And again, of course, YMCA, a couple of wins over Roots. Roots getting 1 point there in the overtime. So, with that, let's take a look at the live standings here. As you see, our top 4 teams now have all finished up their regular season. Goons not completely locked in at the 4 seed, though. Urabro Hockey can make a move there. Roots as well, depending. I guess that second game might not have been completely filed in yet, perhaps. So it looks like it should still be 34 points in 28 games. So Urabro and Goons, home ice advantage there yet to be decided. Technically, Habu can make a push too, but for the most part, eyes are turned over now to Färjestad Sin. They are the last team on the outside looking in that could potentially take a playoff spot away from the likes of Havu or Conquer. And there you go. We do have that Roots result updated. So, Sin, I mean, again, we know it's coming down to the wire for those 8 playoff spots. And yeah, indeed, it is down to just FBK that can make that push into the top 8.
Absolutely. And that's a team that we expected to not only be in the playoffs, but perhaps take one of those top 4 spots. So seeing them right now on the outside looking in, it's becoming a bit of a dire situation for that club here, but kind of lost in all that in that Roots result. YMCA jumped their way out of a relegation position with those results here. Now, obviously, they can still drop down if too many teams leapfrog them, but at the same time, I actually don't think that that's possible at this point, unless the Falun Coal Miners are able to pretty much have perfect results all the way out. I mean, YMCA may be safe.
It does look like it. Again, 13, 14, and 15 is what we're highlighting in general. And of course, with this matchup coming up, those are the potential relegation battle spots where, again, 16th is automatically relegated. And yeah, you looked at the math there. YMCA looks like they are just about safe after what has been a pretty surprising season for them as well. They've had a rather interesting history in the Elite Division. But we move ahead now to focusing on our matchup that is coming up here. Again, the Falun Coal Miners taking on Stargazing. Sin the Coal Miners kind of, returning here after, members of the team, especially Captain Furion, bouncing around different clubs. He's back to being the leader of this group. And Stargazing, it's their first season in the Elite Division. Maybe not quite where they wanted to be, knowing that they need some results here to stay ahead of IQ.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be a bit of an interesting matchup, so to speak. We just saw Falun Coal Miners, the only team who could, work their way out of a relegation spot and perhaps bump down a team like YMCA. But again, they have to pretty much win out the rest of their season here. Decent opportunity against Stargazing, but this is a Falun Coal Miners team with the most amount of goals allowed across the Elite Division. They started off this season looking pretty good. They had a playoff position secured pretty early, but that all kind of seemed to fall apart in the latter half of the season. It's been an uphill battle for them ever since.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the lineups for this matchup here. For the Falun Coal Miners, Football, Toflin, Martindale, and Satapoika, your front 3, with Furion and Tansky on defense. Police Control in nets. And for Stargazing, Floppery, Osi, and Koloslav. Yamechkin, of course, Nick on defense as well. Pirza in goal. And we'll start off with that center comp. It is Osi and Martindale in this particular matchup here. And of course, we know how experienced Martindale is at the Elite Division level. Osi, I do believe, again, in contention for Rookie of the Year status when we talk about this first head-to-head, which we'll switch to here as soon as we possibly can. But very intrigued by this particular matchup, regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of look at the point totals. Martindale's had a huge resurgence here, and Ose, doing pretty good with that, kind of point per game mark. But I mean, really, it's just been impressive to see Martindale, and again, early on in the season, especially how good this Falun Coal Miners team really kind of looked all the way across. And they've done a lot of kind of switching around positions amongst the front three. We've seen, Folpa Toflan, I think, in the middle at one point. Sada Poika's even been at the middle at one point. So they're just really continuing to try to find something that will work for them. So you're seeing the points right there. I don't know how many games he has played in that center position, but the faceoff percentage is not quite at that 50% mark.
Absolutely, of course. Similar to the mythical 80 or above save percentage for goalies, you do look for at least 50% of the faceoffs won. The winger battle here again for the coal miners, Fopatoflin and Sadapoika, Floppery and Koloslav on the other side. And very respectable numbers for the duos there for Stargazing, although, of course, Fopatoflin, as you might expect, is the leading scorer of the bunch. I like the aesthetic of the sweatshirt he's wearing. It almost looks like a floating head.
Yeah, absolutely, kind of does. But yeah, he's had a tremendous season, really. The 42 points for this club, and Sada Poik some at times been a bit slower out of the gate, but he's now tied for team lead in goals. So he's kind of found that goal scoring touch, and that's you always want to try to contribute from anywhere you are, and he's at that point per game mark. A decent chunk of goals for, and both of these forwards on the side of the coal miners, very physical, and you look across, decent point production from both Floppery and Koloslav, but they're not as physical here. They do take, quite a few shots as well, but it's just, we're going to see, how much that physical play comes into effect here with the coal miners if they look to forecheck a lot.
Absolutely. Again, the defense here next. Captain Furion alongside Tonsky. Jamechkin alongside Nick there on that right-hand side. And again, sent strong numbers. I got to be honest. I am impressed with the offensive output that we've seen for the members of Stargazing. And of course, similar situation there where Furion leading the way in points amongst these defenders.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Stargazing definitely not looking completely out of place. Although more than likely they're gonna have to fight to keep their spot here in the elite division. But they've learned quite a bit throughout the course of this season here. On the flip side, Fury, and we always honestly expect to see him putting up some decent point totals here and there. But Tonsky a bit slower. Still has more goals than he has assists here. The offense definitely doesn't seem to run through him, so to speak. But usually has been pretty shut down defensively. That being said, coal miners overall as a defensive team haven't been too good over the course of the season. So that's something that they're definitely going to want to clean up when it comes to next season, especially.
Of course, our last head-to-head, the goaltenders, Police Control and Pirza, neither man where they would want to be, I would say, in terms of save or goals against average at this stage of the season. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And, definitely when it comes to Polish Control, you're kind of seeing the symptoms everywhere when it comes to the coal miners and why they're the team that allows the most amount of goals. The goaltending hasn't quite been where they want it to be. The team defense not quite where they want it to be here. And that's kind of just been what's happened to them over the latter half of this season. But yeah, I think he's, Pirza, relatively close to where you want to be, close to an 80 save percentage, if not just below. But the record is kind of, what would stand out in this case, as it kind of comes down to chicken or the egg. Is not necessarily all Pirza's fault, but it's not necessarily all the team around him's fault. So it's a little bit of a mix of everything for Stargazing, but a steep learning curve here jumping into the elite division.
Absolutely. Pirza, the only member of this club, if I am not mistaken, who has prior elite experience heading into this season. So, again, trying to lock down that spot now for Stargazing moving into ECL 23. You see the teams matched up there and in the lobby. Of course, what you would expect, centers at, playmaking setups, and, of course, everyone else puck moving defensemen. So kind of the meta, of course, that we see here on the European side of things. Sim, we are about ready to go for this one. Again, a reminder here as we look to really get the action going. So much going on throughout the sports gamer world, including, of course, still giving away some IQ fuel every single week. All you have to do for your chance to win, share the best and worst that NHL 22 has had for you on Twitter and Instagram. Use the hashtag eHockeyMoments. And again, some lovely IQ fuel could be yours. And of course, the Wilhelm e-hockey tour is still going on. Details for every stop, again, every weekend, sportsgamer.gg for all of the info that you need there. Sin, it's the first game of two and a very important matchup here for these two clubs. Again, both potentially staring down the barrel of a relegation battle. If not, in the case of Stargazing, potential automatic relegation. You know, this really could open up the door for IQ to drop Stargazing right back down. And, you know, that's not exactly a story that's rather uncommon. You know, it is
Mhm.
very difficult to get to this league and be able to kind of lock down that spot moving forward.
Yeah, it's that can kind of happen. We talk about it. The first, it's hard to get into the elite. It's even harder to stay there. And yeah, if Stargaze, kind of struggled today, and in their future matchups, especially, they could definitely find themselves in that automatic relegation position. Without even having a fighting chance to stay.
Worth noting, as we looked at the standings before, Stargazing's last two matchups after this, HV71 and IQ in their final matchup of the season. Absolutely incredible matchmaking there, as it turns out, just for how this season has played out. That could very well decide who will be relegated for this season, but it is Stargazing here in the home unis, and of course, different camera angle here for this particular matchup. Coal Miners, of course, in their road whites. Gonna be honest, don't necessarily hate this camera angle from a broadcasting perspective.
Yeah, I believe this is the zone camera, if I'm not mistaken. It's the one that I would usually use when I a long time ago when I would before I retired from any sort of competitive play.
It's been a rough year for us all.
Oh yeah.
Potofan hands off for Sadapoika, nowhere to go. And Stargazing will look to turtle up here as Coal Miners gain the zone. On the back, Martindale. Back for Tonski. Loose puck in front. And recovered. Again, that's the thing about that Falun Coal Miners lineup. A lot of leadership in terms of, captains, former captains. I mean, Martindale, formerly a captain of Northern Ascendancy, of course. We saw Tonski, the old incarnation of Roots, also known as Rusty Blades, used to be a captain in this division as well. So certainly this team's in terms of the leadership and knowing what it takes to at least solidify your spot in this division. They know what it takes. I mean, again, we looked at them and said, hey, maybe playoffs. A lot of people are looking and saying, hey, maybe relegation. It still could be a possibility, but it looks like their landing spot could very well be somewhere in between.
We're going to see a delayed penalty here, as unfortunately for the Coal Miners, they did take an infraction there. It looks like a slash, so just an attempted stick lift gone south. Volpatolfin will be sitting for two right there, and get a chance to see the Stargazing power play and what that has to offer here.
Indeed, on the season so far, Stargazing, the 11th ranked power play against the currently tied for 9th PK of the Falun Coal Miners at 75%. And for a set play, it was broken up. It is Stargazing able to come up with it. You're caught puck watching there for a moment. Looked like it was bouncing around. Not sure who was going to pick it up. Here's Martindale, perhaps a shorthanded bid. On the back of the net and taken away. Good spin pass. Now here's Floppery. Let's see what he can do. Drops back. A shot blocked down by the traffic in front. 35 to go on the power play. Match can pass across again in front. Scores! It's Ose in front. His 11th of the season. And Stargazing take advantage of the power play here in the first period.
Yeah, just a little bit of perimeter passing, and not the prettiest way to get to that scoring location, but it got there at the end of all things, and Ose just kind of picks that puck up as it was sort of bouncing around in that slot and puts that one home. Stargazing, power play goal to take a 1-0 lead immediately, making the Falun Coal Miners pay for their mistake.
A big result early on for Stargazing. Again, an incredibly important matchup for them.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
They look to avoid finishing in last on the season. It is likely down to them or IQ. IQ certainly rooting for the Falun Coal Miners here in this one. puck down low, picked off. Furion. Just find Martindale, quick feed to Popatopin. Martindale again recovers, D to D, one-timer blocked. Short side bid doesn't go for Satapoikin. One-timer gets to the net. Good save there by Pirza.
Yeah, Falun Coal Miners definitely going with a lot of different looks in the offensive zone, some down low shots, testing that short side, up high, D to D one-timers, and it's a good way to kind of go about things, but so far, Pirza's been up to the task of keeping that puck out of the net.
Fortunately there, Furion misses that puck off the face-off win. Coal Miners having to regain the zone, and Martindale has it poked away. And the Stargazing power play goal for Rossi. To kick things off for Stargazing in this one, a big win on the line here if they can get it. Still a long way to play, though, in this one. Floppery has this off the draw. Tried to go back to him. Floppery again tried to throw it on. Goes back. Floppery one more time. That one might have been going wide, but still nervous moments here as Furion takes a puck. A little bit of friendly fire. The Coal Miners yet to really get into a rhythm here, Sin.
Yeah, they had a couple good chances a bit earlier on, but yeah, I think rhythm's the most important thing and consistency, and that's something that they just haven't been able to find against this Stargazing team, and that's definitely not something that they want to see. They're ahead of these guys in the standings. They're trying to, get out of that relegation position, but easier said than done, and, again, just struggling to find that consistency here against Stargazing.
In front, great chance for Satapoika. Couldn't find it, though. Olaslav. Final few seconds here of this period. Yemechkin shot. Good blocker save there by Police Control as Tansky will wind down the clock. First period in favor of Stargazing off of a power play goal and strong goaltending by Pirza.
Yeah, and I mean, you see it right here. There's a couple looks there. That was one-timers coming out from the way of Tansky there, and some short side shots. He had to be sharp. Wasn't necessarily a give me period, but the Falun Coal Mines weren't able to just get enough offensive pressure. I think was really what it comes down to. That's what I think they're going to need to look for here into this second period, is being able to get a few more chances, a few more time. And interestingly, only one registered shot. They did have two one-timers attempts. I guess one of them must have hit something in front and not counted as a registered shot. And I mean, they even had a short side attempt, so maybe they hit the side of the net. Who knows? But I'm actually shocked to only see that one registered shot on goal from the Falun Coal Miners here. But nonetheless, that's what they have, and they're going to have to try to improve upon that here in the second period for sure. And a lot more time on attack, and just pour some shots on and test Pirza a little bit more.
We will get ready here for the second period of play. Again, first game of two between these two clubs. Some very important points get up for grabs as we are in the final week of this season, and they score! 24 seconds in, and Floppery has the goal. It's 2-0.
Yeah, and so for the Coal Miners, that's about the worst start as you could possibly have. That was a pretty simple play, just driving the net right there. The puck comes loose, but guess who's on the back door? It's Floppery, and he's able to just find that puck in kind of the melee in front and sweep it into the back of the net. And just like that, Stargazing take a 2-0 lead, and the uphill battle just got a lot steeper for the Falun Coal Miners.
I mean, a huge moment here for Stargazing. Now up by 2, puts the Coal Miners in a bit of a rough spot. Again, as we've said, still a long way to go in this one, although that quickly the situation for these teams has changed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no one can't really be understated here. Falun Coal Miners really want these points. Again, there's always something to play for here. We're going to see a major pushback for them now, but the defense from Stargazing has really been good.
Satapoika with that wrist shot just wide on the glove side. And, indeed, you talk about it entering play today, Falun Coal Miners in 13th. They would also be in a potential relegation spot. as we've seen, it can be easier said than done in terms of surviving one of those relegation battles with those pro division teams.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're you may be hungry to stay there, feeling like you want to stay there. Those pro teams down there, that's their goal, to get up to the elite. They come into those matches hungry as ever, and you know, you really got to be on your A game and to be able to keep your spot in the elite division.
Lose puck there, and you know, it's funny. I think it was Tonsky who got a piece of that. He's been accused of having a cannon of a shot. I don't know how to explain that. Might have turned into an actual cannon to fire that puck down that way. Face off in the coal miners zone here. They are going to be able to maintain possession. Toflin nowhere to go. Lawbury has that most recent goal, I believe his 11th of the season, looking for number 12. Police control able to make the save. Not mistaken, has split the net this season with last Mandalorian. Always interesting to see at the end of the season kind of what strategy works out better. The idea of a dual option in goal, or just the one goaltender to run with. A lot of it depends on availability. Toflin has this one. And still, shot blocked down, bouncing around. Martindale will recover. Rockets one through the slot that goes all the way back. Again, trying to gain the attacking zone. Martindale back for Furion. A chance there for Fopa Toflin. But again, Pirza standing tall in goal for Stargazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, can't really be overstated just how impressive the defense and goaltending is for Stargazing right now. Falun Coal Miners, not a bad offensive team by any means, sort of middle of the pack in terms of being able to score goals. Their one detriment has been able to, being able to keep that puck out of the net. And here comes the 2-on-1.
Olaslav tried to bury that one on his own. Great job by Police Control to stick with him. Nearly a 3-0 lead for Stargazing.
Definitely, and that's a save to kind of remember right there. It's a 2-on-1 chance for Stargazing that Police Control just kind of turns aside, and if Falun Coal Miners are able to mount a comeback, that save will look even bigger.
Over the line again. Fopa Toflin back for Furion. Tried to go right back to him. Martindale nowhere to go. Fopa Toflin has it. Gonna look to do with it. Wanted the men in front. Nobody home. Sada Poika again takes the shot. Good blocker save. Puck out of play.
Seems like everything that Falun Coal Miners want to throw at Stargazing, they're right up to the task right there. You know, trying to feed that one across. Maybe a bit too telegraphed as pretty much everyone that's heading to the slot right there to either get a stick on it or disrupt it there. And Pirza not coming off his posts at all. And Falun Coal Miners keep testing him. And I like that they keep testing him, but Pirza is just really looking comfortable in that net.
Stargazing in the zone here. Haven't seen too much of that really since that goal early on in this period. Furion tries that quick out. Great play to get it up to Martindale. In front, scores! Deflects off the defender in front. Martindale will get credit for the goal. And the Falun Coal Miners are on the board.
Yeah, my eyes were trying to track that puck, and then all of a sudden it's in the back of the net. We'll get a better look at right now. Beautiful bit of out-skating, and yeah, that is just a pass over that just went off the defender right into the back of the net. I thought for a moment one of the Coal Miners players in front actually got a stick on that, but as you said, Martindale making that pass gets credit for the goal, and yeah, no replay counts as an own goal, so the own defenseman for Stargazing knocking that puck in there. And well, Falun Coal Miners will take it here. One step back in the road to recovery. The deficit has been cut in half, and they've been making a push on the offensive side of things to try to beat this the shutdown of Stargazing.
Yeah, I've seen Coal Miners' tendency to come back already on broadcast this season, so never know what might happen here. We've seen Martindale with the ability to just go off and take over a game, so you never Never can quite count them out. Almost looked like, though, Martindale, I mean, we know it deflected more than likely, but it almost looked like he just roofed a saucer past Top Shelf. Sadapoik unable to hold on to that. Space perhaps here. Boleslav, options, has it poked away.
Beautiful poke by Tonsky there. Played that perfectly. We're going to have a stretch pass. Unfortunately, Martindale can't handle the bank pass off the boards.
There's a goal in this game. Fighting for that puck down low. Kopatoflin has it. Get the final few seconds here of this second period. Sadapoika tries to go across. Here it's a force to cover with 2.5 to go, so there is technically time, as unlikely as it may be.
Half expecting to see them pull the goaltender there for a little bit of an extra presence, but they're going in the aggressive set, so they got to play in mind.
See what it's going to be. Clean win for Osi. That's what it's going to be, and that ends the second period. So 1 goal apiece in that 20 minutes results in a 1-goal lead for Stargazing, but we'll get another look at that Martindale goal.
Yeah, and it really comes down to just creating that space for himself with the L skating and then just trying to send that one across. Not a bad play by any means. We may get hopefully maybe a closer look at the end of the game exactly how it bounced in. I'm still kind of struggling to see exactly where the contact was made, but I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't quite matter right there. It's a goal for the Falun coal miners, and again, that was absolutely huge for them to get back into things, but I'd like to see them getting a few more shots on net. It still only says registered 3 shots, but I could swear they were pouring more on, so I guess we did see a couple misses here and there, but I do definitely feel like Pearce has made a few more saves than he's been getting credit for, but nonetheless, Falun coal miners, again, need to get a few more chances here and there if they want to come back and tie this one up before the time expires and get some very important points.
Here we go. Third period just about ready to begin. Again, the first game of 2 between these two clubs. It's the Falun coal miners. We're down by 2, now only down by 1. Watch out perhaps for a quick strike from Stargazing. It's happened already here in this game. This one back to the neutral zone, and coal miners do anything there. Good pick off by Nick. Recovers the puck. Luppery over the line, takes the hit. Consistent scrambles for the puck here. Sin kind of makes it difficult if you just you got to wait with bated breath just to see who's going to come up with that puck.
Yeah, and that kind of a little bit of uncertainty there. I mean, could have been a great play for the Falun coal miners. They hit in the neutral zone, but they just couldn't get the transition game going because they couldn't get clean control of the puck.
One banked off the back of the net by Sadapoika. Martindale has it. Kopatoflin's just not able to get that shot off. Good movement here for Stargazing. It's in front there. It doesn't quite go. Back to the point, now around. Loppery walking the tightrope of the blue line there. Wolfsoff back to him. Good save by Police Control. Perfect tracking. Already 8 minutes gone here in this period. Coal miners need that breakthrough. And if you are a member or a supporter of IQ, certainly rooting for a result here for the Falun coal miners, as that one just out of the reach. We'll see, back to the point. This one's going to go all the way down. I mean, lost opportunity for Stargazing, but right now the clock is their friend, and a few more seconds tick off of it.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had some pretty good cycle plays down low, and like you said, that one just kind of went out of the zone, but here comes coal miners.
What they can do is Sadapoika tried to go down low for Martindale, tries to go to the point. Nothing doing. There are 8 minutes to go. Still the coal miners trying to break through, find that tying goal. Here's Tonsky. Really able to get a wraparound attempt. Pierce, though, all over it. We will have a face-off.
With 7:09 left, it's starting to get into kind of dire territory for the Falun coal miners here. They need that tying goal, but their chances have really kind of dried up towards the end here. When they try to get into the zone, it seems like everything that they want to do, Stargazing has been able to take away, so they're going to have to find some way to get some alternative looks.
Covered in the corner there by Floppery. Not able to get that puck out, though. Good job by Tansky. Furion. Sadapoika has it poked away before he can get that shot off. Olaslav able to recover here. Shot on. Save. Loose puck scores! Opportunistic from Koloslav. It's now 3-1 for Stargazing with about 5 minutes to go. And that should, in theory, be enough. But never say never.
Yeah, never say never. That's just a fortunate bounce right there that finds its way to Koloslav's stick, but a good job from Stargaze and kind of staying hungry with it, not, taking that first chance and then kind of backing off or waiting for anything in particular, getting that puck to an area and being able to kind of just take some whacks at it right there and, call it a bounce, call it what you will. Nonetheless, it's another goal for Stargazing here, and Falun Coal Miners, now they're definitely in desperation territory.
Absolutely. Here, let's see what they can do. That one on net, they score! It's going to count as an own goal, but Sadapoika gets the Falun Coal Miners back to within one with 3:51 to go.
That could be another reason the shot totals are so low. Both of the goals are technically counted as own goals.
Scramble for the puck here. Tansky at the point. Popotoflin. 2.5 minutes to go. That will pass there for Tansky to Popotoflin, down to just about the final minute. Here's Tansky trying to drive the net. Defended well. Little line Koloslav. Hold that one down low. Popotoflin, good set of give and goes. That one out of the reach of Tansky. Self-sauce, Popotoflin. What a play to drive into space. Still has it. Tries to go in front. Getting knocked loose. It is Floppery now. Just about 30 seconds remaining here in regulation. A one-goal game. Sadapoika. And a puck back to the neutral zone. Coal Miners running out of time. Martindale. Drive the side of the goal. A penalty is called. Looks like that's going to be a hook. If I had to guess, Popotoflin, he's been the more likely to use the stick lift, and it's going to be Martindale this time. Just gets called.
Yeah, just trying to keep the play alive right there, and unfortunately for them, they just weren't able to do that. And it seemed like every time they gained the zone, they just tried to get it towards the center of the crease or towards the net immediately there. And while that can be a good strategy, it just simply wasn't working for them down the stretch. As Stargazing really throughout the entirety of the game had no problem being able to defend against the majority of those kind of chances here. And yeah, Coal Miners, by throwing that puck towards the net, did have a couple go in, but for chances where they could control their own destiny here, they definitely needed to work the outside a little bit more. We saw them doing that a bit at the beginning with, some one-timers from Tansky, different angle shots coming out, from the perimeters a bit that Pirza was seeing, but at the same time, different looks, and at this point, Stargazing just shutting it down.
Short-handed situation, 7 seconds to go for the Falun Coal Miners, and time is going to run out. A gigantic 2 points for Stargazing in a 3-2 victory.
Yeah, that's absolutely massive when it comes to the fortunes of Stargazing. They're trying to work themselves probably not out of a relegation position, but maybe in a slightly better one, so to speak, right here. And for them, most importantly, staying out of the potential automatic relegation. That makes IQ's job all the more harder now down the stretch, as that's a huge 2 points coming out from Stargazing here to secure the victory against, a team like the Falun Coal Miners, who, again, trying to work their way out of a relegation position. But at this point, with that kind of result, it's going to be extremely difficult.
Huge result, as I mentioned, for Stargazing to get this 3-2 victory and get that little bit of extra separation ahead of IQ. Still find themselves in 16th, dead last at the moment. That pushes Stargazing now to 19 points in 25 games played. Also pushes them that much closer to the Falun Coal Miners as well. So we said a lot to play for today. It was 2 own goals, though, Sin, as the goals for the Coal Miners.
Yeah, and again, that's not necessarily what you'd like to see. You're getting pucks into position, sure, but yeah, at the same time, you'd like to have a few more of those chances again. 2 goals off 4 shots, but there were again those 2 own goals don't actually count as shots, really. So just 4 registered shots at the end of the day. Even if you count those other 2, it's only 6. It felt like they had more at times, but maybe the shot aim just wasn't quite there, or things were missing the net, hitting the side of the net. At some point, I really felt like they had a lot more, but again, it just wasn't quite going their way. And towards the end, they just continued to try to kind of, force the middle a bit too quickly, I think. They weren't taking time to try to spread out Stargazing. And when it came to Stargazing, they were able to capitalize. When they got their cycle going is when they looked good. They were able to work that perimeter, then work it towards the middle once they tried to pull Falun Coal Miners out of position right there. And, at times their cycle was looking quite good. And we're getting another look at that pass from Martindale. Actually looks like it goes off the stick somehow and then towards the top shelf, the stick of the defender. Bit interesting right there. And here's this other one. Then this is just, Stargazing, hungry around the net, bounces, sure, but again, a good job by them that's again them working the perimeter, then trying to go towards the middle where they could attack with numbers and in a coordinated fashion rather than off of the rush as Falun Coal Miners were trying to do, where it's not as coordinated, not all coming in at the same speed or at the same kind of angles or pace, and timing things up as properly so you can all get a look at it right there. And that's the second own goal. It was a poke coming out from Nick right there to kind of try to keep that puck away, but ends up putting it into his own net. So that is the result of the first one, a Stargazing victory, and big 2 points for them to try to create some separation and stay out of that automatic relegation position.
Absolutely. Game 2 coming up in just a few moments. Might be a slightly longer break than normal, but stick with us. We'll be back as soon as we can be to get everything set up again. One more game to come between the Falun Coal Miners and Stargazing. All right, everybody, we are back. Again, a big thank you, of course, to Wilhelm, Koban Lockwood, and ST Hockey. And hey, as it turns out, we don't need that long of a break at all. We are already good to go with anything we may have been concerned about these two teams, about ready to get underway. The only difference, of course, is we do have a change in perspective. Of course, the Falun Coal Miners were the streaming team for that first game. We have switched over to the Stargazing side of things for that. For this road leg of this matchup for Stargazing and Sin. For them, again, that pushes them now to 19 points in 25 games. You have IQ now 3 points behind them, and the Coal Miners just, 3 points ahead of them. So they're in a very interesting spot here where, today was about trying to get that separation from IQ. They could very well potentially catch the Falun Coal Miners, or at least be 1 point behind them with just a game to go. And I'll get your thoughts on that in a moment. Of course, really quickly, again, the Wilhelm eHockey Tour going on, sportsgamer.gg for all the information that you need on that. Again, stops every single weekend all around Finland. And of course, I do believe the one we have coming up next, of course, some IQ Fuel. There you go. We're giving away a prize package every week until the end of June. Again, we want to see the best and worst moments that NHL 22 has had to offer you. On Twitter and Instagram, use the hashtag eHockeyMoments when sharing your clips for your chance to win. So, Sid, again, your thoughts on the Stargazing situation. You're heading into one of the biggest games, if not, you could say the biggest game to date in their season.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. They looked good in that first matchup here, and yeah, like you might not get out of your the situation where you have to play a relegation battle, but just like with playoffs, seeding can kind of be important. The higher you up in the standings, the quote unquote a lower seeded team with the potential to fight their way into the elite is the one that you have to play. So if you're in the 13th one, you face the quote unquote worst team of the pro division trying to fight their way into the elite division here. But so see what Stargazing able to do once again, trying to get off to a quick start.
Again, it is Stargazing and an opportunity there. It is Stargazing in their road whites. Of course, the Falun Coal Miners in the red and black. This one is dumped in. That far hand side. A delayed call already here. Stargazing going to the power play, Sin. Just over 2 minutes into this one.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that the Falun Coal Miners don't want to kind of get into. They got into a bit of penalty trouble in the last one here, and they're doing so once again. Tonski going to the box pretty early on here, and Stargazing will get a chance to flex those power play muscles once again.
Here we go. Let's see how this one plays out off the draw. The Coal Miners getting the win. We'll see how aggressive they perhaps end up being. Martindale does have this puck. Falun trying to hold on to it as well. This one sent down. Should go down for icing, and it does. Good start to the kill for the Coal Miners.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of best case scenario. No, not only killing about half of it off, but then forcing an icing out of Stargazing here. Definitely not the way that Stargazing envisioned this power play going. And a shot coming in from the point, turned aside by Pearson. He plays it out right there. They're really kind of feeling the heat to generate something on this power play.
They do call it a power kill for a reason. That level of aggressiveness. 47 seconds to go here. A stoppage of play. Let's see what happens now moving forward. A rough start to this power play, to say the least. Good shot on there. Poked wide of police control. Loose puck poked on net. A good opportunity. Probably the best of this situation. Very, very close.
Yeah, Floputter just trying to keep that play alive, poked it towards the net. Actually had a kind of a chance to go through, but Police Control had a nice reaction, was able to get back towards the middle there and turn it aside with the pad. But yet another clear coming out from the Falun Coal Miners in the power play, all but done.
Osi has this behind the goal. Wanted to go back to the point, nobody home. Let's see now what Stargazing can do on this breakout. There's not much with the Coal Miners in response. Can't find anybody on that pass. Trying to fight his way through. Martindale's shot just wide on the glove side. Again, now Stargazing trying to get something going here. Floppery on that left-hand side. Around the back for Osi, now to the point. D-to-D one-timer is blocked. Satapoika. D-to-D. Blocked and on net. Still found its way through. And a big stop there by Pearson.
Yeah, Pearson just kind of squeezing the legs together right there. A bit of an odd bouncing puck that found its way back towards him right there. And could have been a bit more of a dangerous opportunity, but they get a face-off because of it. Nice attempt on the set play right there from the Falun Coal Miners there. Just unable to get that one-time shot off.
Opportunity there with the loose puck. Dangerous moments, and they score! Bit of a calamity in the zone there for Stargazing. It is going to be Satapoika striking and giving the Falun Coal Miners a 1-0 lead.
Just an excellent job to feed that one across, and a tap-in coming out from Satapoika, but it started in the neutral zone. Satapoika getting that puck and just kind of forcing his way back into the offensive zone and kind of catching the Stargazing as they were trying to get their transition game going. It ended up being a transition instead for the Falun Coal Miners. They got the puck down low, a shot on that didn't quite go, and a pass back across for the tap-in for Satapoika, and they're the ones who get the first goal in this one. And Stargazing almost with a quick response there. Shot from the point looking for a rebound, but well controlled by Police Control.
Halfway through this first period, the opening goal on the board for Satapoika and the Falun Coal Miners, again after dropping that first game. Certainly looking to pick up some points here in this one to again further put that pressure on Stargazing here in terms of this relegation situation, and it's not even out of the question that the Coal Miners could avoid a relegation battle still at this point. As again, now through 27 games played, they are on 22 points. It's Yippee Vaskala, only 2 points ahead of them. Coal Miners will be tied with them in games played, 28 apiece at the end of this, so still so much to play for these two teams, as that one-timer attempt just broken up by the defense. As Potoflin had to steam down the other way, scores! An incredible job, Sin, of generating speed. Beats the goaltender on the short side, one that he'll want back. 2-0 for the coal miners.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. He's got to play that short side just a little bit more right there. But Pierce maybe kind of hesitant to move over completely to cut it off. But, thinking he may try to go back to that forehand side. But he had support right there of in the way of his defenseman coming back and trying to cut off that angle. So you kind of expected him to maybe, play a bit tighter onto that post. But he doesn't, and Folpatoflin slides that one in. 2-0 for the Falun coal miners. And we'll see how Stargazing are able to work that back. Turnover forced, though.
An offside call, 4:56 to go here in the first period. So again, now a big response from the Falun coal miners after losing that first game. That puck poked back to the neutral zone. Stargazing going to be forced to reset. Trying to get something going here. A late goal in this period. Do wonders for them. That shot blocked. Second chance, and no. Bliss control. He's able to find it and cover.
Yeah, Stargazing looking for some pushback, but much as the Falun coal miners in that first one, they're not able to get the exact chances that they want, but they're starting to, get their time at attack. Falun coal miners haven't needed a lot of it because each time they've able to kind of been transition and then a goal kind of immediately following, but they don't want to allow Stargazing to keep getting chances, as one almost came out right there, but ends up being a trip. And they'll go back to the power play as Tansky once again, perhaps a bit of a necessary penalty to take right there in tight like that. He had a chance to send that one back across for a one-time.
I was thinking the same thing. It looked like a really dangerous moment there in front had he not taken the penalty. So Stargazing here will have the majority of the rest of this period to work on this man advantage. Look for that goal to get them back into it, and as it turns out, it's going to be a 5-on-3.
I believe that's the other defenseman. Yep, Furion will be taking that, so it would be 3 forwards on a 5-on-3 penalty kill for the Falun coal miners. This is a huge opportunity for Stargazing to begin to climb their way back into this one. This is a must-score scenario for them, and this is we'll see how they respond to these kind of clutch situations.
A huge moment in this one. Stargazing need a goal, and that is not the way that they wanted to start things off. There we go. Good little movement here. Just couldn't hold on to the puck. Nechkin does recover. Ball off back to him. Shot blocked down. Second chance at the side of the goal. And Bliss control finally able to cover.
Yeah, that's some good looks there at the second half for Stargazing, but perhaps, kind of the trap that you can fall into on the 5-on-3 is getting a bit lackadaisical with the puck at the beginning of it, which we kind of saw from Nick there at the first one. He just got it poked off, and that's another jump from Martindale. He's had a few of those here in this game.
Another stop there by Bliss control. Seeing that one through the traffic. So some looks here. Nothing A grade at this point. Again, in possession off the draw. Nechkin can't hold. Osi has it knocked loose. What a poke check there by Sadapoika. 30 seconds now. Folpatoflin able to clear. Very impressive effort here from the Falun coal miners. They are back to 5-on-5, and they will take a 2-0 lead into the second period. And a great way for them to start here as they attempt to rebound from the loss in game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. 2-goal lead, aside. That penalty kill was absolutely huge. Stargazing, I don't think, showed enough urgency on that. I think they're a little bit too not careless with the puck, but it seemed to feel like they kind of fell into that trap of assuming that they had a bit more time than they did at times, whether either on the power play clock or with the puck, and you have that 2-man advantage. You often think you can, take a little bit more time with it, and sometimes you can, but you have to earn that time and space at the same time. You still got 3 talented players out there, and at times I felt like they didn't have enough urgency with that puck, and they allowed Falun coal miners to kind of make some plays on it and get some clears and things like that. So getting a look at that first goal, just a nice little play, a quick dish across and a tap-in goal from Sadapoik. And then, of course, is the breakaway opportunity for Fopatoflin, where he just got that puck and was able to use the self-sauce to generate speed and tuck it home on the backhand here. So still time left for Stargazing to turn this one around here. But it's really gonna come down to them being able to be able to generate some offense and capitalize on those chances too.
And indeed, second period underway. Let's see what kind of response we see from Stargazing in this one. Fopatoflin, any indication? Falun Coal Miners not going to be looking to take their foot off the gas anytime soon. Imagine getting that pass across, and again, just immediately stifled. That one nearly intercepted. Great poke check there. Martindale trying to make something happen, draws the trip. And it will only be a penalty. There was a potential penalty shot shout. Great work by Martindale regardless.
Yeah, that was I was a little bit surprised to see that wasn't quite a penalty shot. It was close as it was, but Nick will be headed to the box here. We'll get to see the Falun Coal Miners power play go to work, and this could be absolutely huge. If they're able to capitalize right here, that'll take a lot of wind out of the sails of Stargazing.
Here we go. There's a power play attempt now for the Coal Miners. Fopatoflin. Had to pass back. Floppery broke it up. Satapoika. What he can do is he holds the puck down low. That shot glove save by Pirza, and he'll cover.
Good attempt so far. Nothing super dangerous, but they are getting pucks to the net, which is, again, part of what you want to do on the power play here. And as long as you're holding that line, you're always giving yourself a fighting chance. This faceoff's going to be really important. Martindale at times has looked a bit shaky. He's jumped on the draw a couple times, but doesn't do so there, but ends up losing it cleanly, and a clear out for Stargazing.
45 seconds to go on the power play for the Falun Coal Miners. OC able to dump that one right back down. So it looks like Stargazing will avoid the short-handed situation. We are back to 5-on-5. Olaslav tried to hit the man out of the box. Couldn't do it. Fopatoflin now. Back for Martindale. Fopatoflin again. Great poke check. Poika sends that one over to Martindale. Tried to make the move. Great pass across the ice for Satapoika. His shot save. So strong performance here from Pirza in this one, trying to minimize the damage, keep his team in it. Goes loose. Nick able to recover here. Martindale one more time for the Falun Coal Miners, leading up the ice. Satapoika back to him. Good save. Pirza stuck right with him.
Yeah, really good job from Pirza right there. Just kind of staying more calm in the net. He's, very good positional type goaltender and showing it here a lot of times. But again, he's going to need some goal support at some point here, about halfway through the second. And Stargazing still looking for their first goal.
Shot, rebound was there. Martindale just couldn't find it. Another great chance. Still in the attacking zone here, though. Coal Miners, great forechecking pressure. Satapoika still has this one. Loses it in the double team pressure. Olaslav tried to sauce it across. Great pickoff by Tonsky. Miners going down the other way only momentarily. These two teams continue to stalemate here. Catching over for Flopper. He tried to go across. The unfortunate offside call.
Yeah, and as time ticks away here, Stargazing still trying to find a bit of consistent attack here, and kind of a big night and day difference from the first two games. In the last one, they were definitely able to find a bit more of a consistency on the offensive side of things. But so far, between Falun Coal Miners shutting things down. That being said, another penalty taken another chance for Stargazing on the power play here as Martindale gets caught tripping once again. And it's been kind of an issue for Falun Coal Miners in this matchup here. Quite a few penalties taken, and maybe a bit surprising. They're actually tied for the 4th least amount of penalties in the ECL Elite. But in this matchup, I think they've taken about 3 each game.
Let's see what Stargazing can do now. Great opportunity to get back into this one. That shot blocked down. Second chance. Puck still loose. Tansky the clear. Attempt there by Fopatolfo to try and get a shorthanded situation going. Big hit. No call that one. Looked like it clipped the post. Sadapoika does send that one down. 40 seconds to go on the Stargazing power play. Olslav back over for Floperi. Just wide on that shot blocker side. Puck cleared. And all the way down. Pirza will play it. But we will be back to 5-on-5. And here in the second period, neither team able to take advantage of some power play bids. And I don't know what to make of that one. I don't know what I saw, what I think I saw. How would you label that one?
I mean, that was just an excellent save, I think, by Polish Control. Nonetheless, it was just excellent reaction time, whether that clipped the post or not on that secondary opportunity. That was a good chance down low from Stargazing that Polish Control did indeed react to. And hard to see from the limited audio that we have if that indeed hit off the post or he did make the save. Nonetheless, good opportunity for Stargazing. Just goes by the wayside and really well reacted to from Polish Control.
I just couldn't tell if that was a sweep attempt to get the puck out of the crease, or if it was indeed a save. We're going to look at a save here from Pirza. Earlier on in this period, it'd be great to get a look, though, at that last play. But regardless, it is still a lead for the Falun Coal Miners. And yeah, there it was right there, how the big split-legged save.
Yep.
Honestly, in my viewpoint, it looked like he kind of, do you remember the old windmill animation stack? Well, it's still in the game. You stack the pads and roll over. Like, I could not tell exactly what that was. An astonishing save regardless to keep Stargazing off the board.
Yeah, it's not too often where you're caught speechless for an extended period of time, and I was waiting for your follow-up, and I could just almost hear your brain processing what just happened. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic in front, and with the player right in front of him, I can definitely tell how it looks like something else completely could have been going on right there. Yeah, that's the way my eyes saw it. He makes the first save and then slides over to get the splits reaction save there, but nonetheless keeps the puck out, and so far, you know, really earning his keep in this game, making some tough saves.
So the Falun Coal Miners nearly finding a way to get that extra insurance goal. It is 2-0 here at the start of the third period. Stargazing taking game one in regulation. 2-score line in that one. Shot, another gigantic save. Puck on the line and now behind the goal. What a performance here by Police Control. Saw that one crystal clear as the icing's nullified. Chance in front. And Pirza with the stop of his own.
Yeah, goaltender duel a bit here right there, trading big saves, but for Polish Control, the man must have done some yoga before this matchup right here because he's doing the splits left and right to make these saves.
Unbelievable set of saves there. Again, not often. I'm very close to being at a loss for words, but these two goaltenders doing everything they can to keep their club in it. And this is the final week of the regular season. For Stargazing, still potential to be automatically relegated. For both of these teams, still potential to find themselves in a relegation series with one of our Pro Division clubs, as Furion got away with one there.
Just able to keep that one in. Great job. I think that was Kolslav to try to force that turnover. Now behind the net, gets crushed. The puck is loose.
Sends the Coal Miners down the other way. They are onside. Sadapoika. Back for Tansky. Furion shot. Good save by Pirza. Stargazing again trying to get that shot off. Stargazing really kind of ramping up the pressure here in their own defensive zone, trying to get that puck back. Shot on, and Pierce to the save. He will be forced to cover.
A bit of an off-balance shot right there from Martindale. He would have liked something a bit quicker and with a bit more power on it. Looked like he was getting bumped at the same time as well, and Pierce is just able to cover that one up. And face-off advantage strongly in favor of Ose so far, but they just haven't been able to turn that into the offensive pressure of their own. They go for the dump and chase there, and they'll get the puck.
Floppery back to the point, and it goes all the way back down to the other side. That is heartbreaking.
That absolutely is. Yamechkin right there. I know that feeling all too well where you're standing right there ready for the puck in good position, and it somehow just goes through your feet. Your guy just turns off his ability to catch a puck, I guess, and that's just the worst timing for that. You know, it was a great job of getting that zone entry off the dump and chase, and they need some offense, but here come Falun coal miners.
What they can do, Sadapoika still holding on to it. Under 6 minutes to go here in regulation. Foot race for the puck is won, and a pass, nobody home. And the self-inflicted wounds adding up. Tough break. Coal miners nearly turning that one over. Keep us out of Poika, now over to Fopa Toplin. Trying to just battle his way through. You'd think he would have dumped it in, but regardless. The Stargazing in possession, but again, they are knocked back down the other way.
Yeah, just a bouncing puck like a hot potato right now. That's the opposite of what Stargazing want. They trying to want to get controlled entries or at least have control of the puck. I mean, they almost forced a turnover on a forecheck a little bit ago, but I think it was Kolslov there or Flopper. He just couldn't get the puck after he had poked it loose, and that's just kind of been the story here for Stargazing. Self-inflicted wounds and bounces that just aren't going their way.
Kolslov now has it. 1.5 minutes to go here for Stargazing. We are looking at a 2-2 split in points. Trip and a goal! No power play needed. Stargazing on the board with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go on the clock. Floppery the goal. That gets them back into this one a very, very late sin.
Absolutely, and kind of a best case scenario for them. They haven't looked too good on the power play in this game, or really over the course of the season. One of the more bottom teams on the power play coming into today ranked 11th with 20%, which isn't bad percentage wise, but compared to the rest of the division as well, a lot to be desired there. They're taking the timeout. They got one. They're back within one here. Nice little fortuitous play right there. It just came from kind of driving the net. And again, there's time left. A full 1 minute and 3 seconds. Well, basically a full real-time minute for them to work with here to find that tying goal. You can see the numbers there. Close in shots, close in time on attack. Stargazing, their passing percentage is even better, and they are demolishing the face-off battle. That's going to be extremely important here down the stretch. Martindale jumps once again. I believe that's the 4th time in this matchup.
57 seconds remains on the clock here. This one not quite done. Furion has it. Stargazing, loose puck in their own zone. They recover. Running out of time. Boleslav. One-timer. Second chance. Doesn't go. May have hit the side of the net. Trouble. Shot. Doesn't go. He looked like he was stuck on the side of the goal, but managed to get back. And the coal miners, out of all of that, are going to the power play.
Yeah, it was just people spamming the shot button, I'm sure, trying to get their stick on it because they saw how out of position Polis Control was. I think you're right. He had to have gotten stuck in some way. The wraparound chance was there, but the puck went out front. There were chances to shoot. Maybe they even got one off, but unfortunately it doesn't go, and now they got to be shorthanded. They send it down. Here we go.
28 seconds, coal miners in possession. And played out one more time. Yamechkin for Koloslav, nearly gaining the zone. Fopa Toflin has it. That shot blocked down. Fopa Toflin, the stretch pass. Sadapoika, he's an all alone. And he scores to cap off the game. The Falun Coal Miners survive a scare, to say the least. 3-1. Gonna be your final score.
What a nice little play from Sadapoika. Fakes a slap shot, and you can see there the reaction from Pirza kind of coming out to challenge it. Cut down in the angle. We know how effective those in-tight slap shots can be, although you don't necessarily see them too often at the high level. Faked right there from Sadapoika, and then he just goes around the goaltender, and Stargazing, unfortunately for them, aren't able to get over the hump and tie that game up. A late, heartbreaking goal for Falun Coal Miners, and they're able to get their 2 points here in this second matchup of the two between these two teams.
So again, 2 points apiece. In a sense, keeps the status quo. Does keep IQ's dream of not being relegated alive. As we get a look there at one of the numerous saves from Police Control. Hardly his best. Made a couple of highlight reel stops. Only beaten once there, very, very late into the game. So again, not the worst result in the world. One more look here at what was the goal to decide it. I'm sure we'll get another look perhaps in the replays as well. But you had this goal here, I do believe, as well. Yes, on the backhand. Again, that's one certainly that I think Pirza would want back. But again, not a bad day for either team, but not as good as it could have been.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, 2 out of 4 points is okay, but just getting that one win or just getting the 2 points at the end of the day with where they're both at in the standings, you know, every single point matters so much. So not being able to force an OT in the one that you did lose, it hurts just that little bit more at the end of all things. And you know, maybe a bit of a better situation that coal miners find themselves in. But again, I think, you know, with the whole differential in the standings, they would have preferred to get a few more points. And Stargazing, as desperate as they are, 2 points is nice, and it does give them a bit of a gap against IQ. But the more games are and the more points you kind of let slip away from you, the more chance you give IQ to catch you.
One more look here. That self-sauce for speed. This was that short side bid on the backhand, just sneaking that one in. And with that, a look at the Stargazing goal. It would have been a delayed call. You can't really argue, but again, just found its way right to where it needed to be. And one more look at Sadapoika's game. I was going to say game-winning goal. It was really the goal to cap it off, to make it a 3-1 final in favor of the Falun Coal Miners, which brings us to the end of today's broadcast. And Sin, as much as I'd love to say we had some things sorted outside of what seemed like something that was a guarantee with Frölunda locking in their 2-seeded playoff spot, we still have so many questions heading into the rest of this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, all of the seeding's up for grabs. Even a couple playoff spots are technically up for grabs. And with the way the relegation battles have gone, we've already seen YMCA jump their way up from a relegation position to safety. In this point, you know, Falun Coal Miners getting a couple points gets themselves closer to that. But really, I think it's going to come down to in those relegation positions seeding as well, and who's going to find themselves in that guaranteed relegation position.
Absolutely. So, of course, sportsgamer.gg for all the updated word on the standings and everything that's going on. Again, so many games on broadcast and off. A reminder, Sin and I will be back this Wednesday. Not 100% sure yet in terms of what games are locked in. We want to make sure we bring the most interesting games to you, the most relevant games in terms of the playoff situations. But we will be back. Again, same time, 1945 CEST. It's 1:45 p.m. Eastern for those of you that join us from the North American side of things. But for now, we will say goodbye. Again, a big thank you for sticking with us here. A big thank you to everybody behind the scenes. And, of course, Wilhelm, Coven Lockwood, CST Hockey, the whole deal. We will see you guys on Wednesday. Again, keep an eye out on SportsGamer GG for our Wednesday schedule. And again, it's in a little bit under a month from now. Of course, this all leads to the finals this June 17th and 18th, where you and I will be live in Helsinki covering the final. Could lead as well to the live grand final as well. We'll wait to see if H-Reds have anything to say about that and decide that they don't want a grand final to be played, which could very well happen. But again, I've said it so many times. I'll say it again, sportsgamer.gg for all the information that you guys need. We will see you this Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.